Hi, my name is Cameron, and by the end of this video you will have a grasp on how the Bittensor ecosystem works. While a little confusing at first, the core mechanics of Bittensor are actually quite simple and boil down to a couple of key fundamentals we can all relate to. By the end of this video I will also give you one of the reasons why people are getting really excited about Bittensor. Bittensor is a decentralized network of intelligence. This network is made up of smaller communities called subnets. Each subnet hosts its own decentralized incentivized competition. We have all seen incentivized competitions on screen, and there are some parallels that we can draw between these and Bittensor competitions. Firstly, on-screen competitions always have competitors. Bittensor subnets also have competitors, and these competitors are called miners. On-screen competitors compete by performing some talent or completing some task. On a Bittensor subnet, miners compete by producing a digital product or service. Examples include answering text prompts, training AI models, or providing access to powerful computers. It's a common misconception with Bittensor that these products and services are always to do with AI. They don't have to be, but they often are AI related. In on-screen competitions, how you win the competition is always quite different. But you always win by being the best. The best singer, the best dancer, chef, the most talented, popular, the fittest, the strongest, the brightest, and so on. On a subnet, how you win can also be quite different between each subnet. But you win by being the best. The best at answering text prompts, training AI models, providing the fastest and most reliable computational resource. On-screen competitions always compete for rewards or prizes. On a Bittensor subnet, miners compete for tokens called TAO. On-screen competitions have producers that define the competition format and set the rules and standards. On Bittensor, this role is performed by subnet creators. They design the competition and set the standards. To succeed, a subnet's creators must create a unique and valuable incentive mechanism that attracts high-quality miners that produce the best possible output for the task. On-screen competitions have judges that uphold the standards and decide who wins and award the prizes. On a subnet, the judges are called validators. They assess the quality of the miner's work and reward the best miners with TAO tokens, according to the standards set by the subnet creators. With on-screen competitions, how prizes are distributed can vary from competition to competition. Some are winner takes all, others reward prizes to the miner places. This is the same on a Bittensor subnet. How rewards are distributed will vary from subnet to subnet and is set by each subnet creator. We are nearly done with our analogy, but there is one last parallel to draw. But first of all, let's summarize what we have learnt so far. Miners work to produce digital products and services. Validators evaluate the quality of the miner's work, and subnet creators manage the incentive mechanisms that specify the work that miners and validators must perform and evaluate respectively. The last parallel to draw is that on-screen competitions all compete against, each other. They compete for viewers, and the more viewers they get, then the bigger piece of the global advertising pie they can ask for. For example, America's Got Talent generates hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising revenue. In the same way, Bittensor subnets compete against each other for a pool of TAO tokens. The size of the pie each subnet gets depends on how valuable the subnet is to the whole Bittensor ecosystem. The more valuable, the more tokens that the subnet gets. The more tokens it has to reward its miners and validators. This healthy competition between subnets rewards innovation and quality. You might be wondering then how the Bittensor network decides which subnets are more valuable than others. To answer this question takes a little bit more explaining, and I'll cover it in detail in another video. But effectively, TAO holders stake TAO tokens to the various subnets. So just as viewers vote with their eyeballs, so TAO holders vote with their TAO. Okay, we're done with this analogy, but let's cement our understanding with a real-world example, and how it compares to a centralized solution. Under a centralized solution, a user, that's you or I, will send a challenge, such as a text prompt, to an AI app, such as ChatGPT, Google Gemini, or Grok. The AI app then sends back the answer. Under Bittensor, you send your text prompt to an app that is plugged into a large language subnet. It gets passed to the miners, and they all compete against each other to answer your prompt. It would be a bit like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok all had to compete against each other and hundreds of other large language models for the permission to answer your prompt. The validators then judge the quality of all of the answers to see which is the best. Yours is the best, you win, well done. Sorry guys. That winning miner is then given the permission to send you the correct and best possible answer. And this is one of the reasons people are getting so excited about Bittensor. Have you ever had that experience of sending a prompt to one of the centralized providers and getting back an answer that is, well, just flat out wrong? I have. In fact, it happened to me twice. And if you're interested in hearing about that experience and knowing which provider it was, follow me on this channel and I'll put a video up on it soon. On Bittensor, AI providers can't get away with this kind of BS because poorly performing miners are punished with lower TAO rewards, or none at all. Whereas quality performing miners are rewarded with even more TAO tokens. Poor performers will be forced to improve or be put in the trash. Now that's an exciting thought. There are many other topics to cover on Bittensor, like did you know that each subnet has its own unique token? Or that TAO tokenomics exactly mimic Bitcoins? All of this and more I'll cover in future videos, so please subscribe if you want to better understand Bittensor. If you want to know all the good things, all the bad things, and all the downright ugly things about Bittensor, I've got a whole video on that and I'll post a link to it right here. Okay, that's it from me. Till next time.